People who accept correction are on the pathway to life. Bring that up. Proverbs 10:17. People who accept correction are on the pathway to life, but those who ignore it will lead others astray. If you cannot be corrected, you yourself won't see correction and will not be corrected. You will be used not by the Father, but by the enemy to lead others astray. Because you have not received correction yourself. So everything that you are leading, you're leading someone down a wrong path. You're leading that person down a wrong path. Listen, there's two places where you get information. From God and the enemy. And if you are not, if your information that you're receiving is not coming this way, and it's not based on this, you want to be careful with that. That information that you're receiving, everything needs to line up with this. Okay, let's keep going quickly. Let's go to 10:19. Don't talk too much, for it fosters sin. Be sensible and turn off the flow. Oh, my God. Now, you know, I've had to, oh, Lord, and still need to learn that one right there. Do you hear? Don't talk too much. It falters sin. Be sensible and turn off the flow. The blessings of the Lord makes a person rich, and he adds no sorrow to it, or no sorrow with it. And we understand that. That's just like when you are doing something, amen, when you going to, purchase something. And you purchase something that you know that you really can't afford. Don't say that, or you receive something and it's costing you more than what you have to pay for it. That, I wouldn't call that a blessing of the Lord, okay? Let's keep going. Pride leads to disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. All right, turn over here with me to, it's 11:14. Without wise leadership, a nation falls. And aren't we seeing that now? Without wise leadership, a nation falls. With many counselors, there is safety. Proverbs 12. To learn, you must love discipline. Oh, please put that one up there. Oh, my God. And I want y'all to write these down. I want you to read. To learn, you must love discipline. It is stupid to hate correction. None of us want to ask. None of us want to be corrected. Neither do we want to really ask anyone else for advice, because we've got this thing that we know everything anyway. The Lord approves of those who are good, but condemns those who plan wickedness. That wasn't one that I was going to read, but okay. Fools think they need no advice, but the wise listens to others. Even as myself, I make sure that I take time to receive ministry from other men and women of God that I feel connected to in the spirit. And I also feed my spirit through the word of God and through being ministered to myself. Anytime we think we're to be ministered to, or for someone to speak into our life, that's a problem, and we're in trouble, because I need ministry just as you need it, and not just. And I don't like receiving a bunch of stuff. It's just like when we were at that conference. We listened to, I think, 36 speakers in 7 days. And there was so much information. But I did my best to just to take just some nuggets, because I don't like stuff that's overwhelming, because I'm a one thing person. I take one thing, and that I don't care, and I had to put everything else to the side, and I just had to trust God and all that other stuff. But this is one thing that with God's help, I'm going to master. You know what I'm saying? One thing that I'm going to be made whole. One thing that I'm going to prosper. One thing. I'm not like most people. I'm not multitasking, and I can't think a whole bunch of stuff. And that's why from the beginning to the end, and my family can vouch for this if they was to get up here and tell you, from the beginning to the end, I still talk about the same thing that I talked about when the Lord saved me. It's still the same words that came out of my mouth. I identify with Noah, preaching that same thing, And I do that. It's just like, and meditate on it and continue to say it over and over again. That's the way faith comes. That's why a lot of us are not even operating in faith. Faith comes by hearing. That's not just hearing one time, but hearing it over and over and over and over again. But we don't want to hear nothing over and over and over again. Just like the people in the day of Noah. They got tired of Noah saying the same thing. Brother, can't you say something else? What's wrong with you? Is that all you know? Can't we get no? And all along, and didn't listen, because they were a generation that would not hear. What happened? They were all destroyed. You kept hearing the same thing over and over again, and none of you believed it. None of you received it, and everybody was destroyed except for Noah and his family, because in something that you kept hearing over and over again, you refused. Just like you say, honey, clean up your bedroom. And it's like, Mom Satara, you tell me about my bedroom. Well, if you clean it up, I wouldn't have to keep saying, clean up your bedroom. But we don't want to take heed. Lazy people want much, but get little. But those who work hard will prosper and be satisfied. Pride leads to arguments. Those who take advice are wise. And that's another area where you know that you are full of pride. Is every time it's always an argument. Something you're always arguing. It's something always, every time somebody says something to you, it's got to turn into something, you know what I'm saying? It's so pride, that lets us know that there's some pride there. And okay, now, bless the Lord. A wise woman builds her house. A foolish woman tears hers down with her own hands. A lot of this, I could just stop and teach on. The vice of the wise is like a life-giving fountain. That is a person whose heart is connected to God, and they've been given wisdom from God. Listen to what it says. That advice That advice of a wise person is like a life-giving fountain. Those who accept it avoid the snares of death. So anytime you listen to a person with wisdom, you do what they instructed you to do, you find yourself overcoming. If you do what they say do, you find that it works. Because they have been given wisdom, they have done it, and they have tried it, and it's proven. Anytime you find someone that has walked in something, it's been tried and it's been proven, that's the kind of person that you want to sit up under. That's the kind of person that you want to receive from. That's the kind of person that you want to hear. Now, and I'm going to tell you something. Teaching is very important, even though I know this morning I seem to be here and everywhere. Bless the Lord. And I know it's hard to follow me this morning, but I'm telling you something, you all. We need to receive good teaching to get a foundation. We've got to stop coming in here and receiving and not doing nothing with what you're receiving. You're not applying it to your own life. And then, and I'm going to tell you something, the Bible, one of the things, and I'm closing, one of the things that God has called us to do here at Kingdom World Outreach Center is to train up people, to equip people, and to send them, to train them up, to equip them to do kingdom business. And wisdom. We're not, listen, you need wisdom. If you're going to train someone, if you're going to be trained, you got to be able to hear, receive, and be corrected if you're going to be trained. And now it's just like on your job. When they train you on your job, because most of the times when they're training you to place you in a position of and promoting you. And there's usually a good financial increase that comes with that. Anytime they're training you to do a particular job, a particular assignment. And you are there taking notes. When you're at work and you're being trained to do a job, you are listening and you're receiving, and you do just what your teacher, professor, boss tells you to do. Am I right? When you're being trained? But then when it comes to the kingdom, and you all, this is, oh my God, this is our life. I mean, this is what we've been created. This is what we've been created to do. And in these days that we are in, and in this hour that we're in, we've got to be able to get past where we've been and what we've been stuck in. And it's time for us to go from glory to glory to glory. And it's time for us to get out of here and affect and impact and change the world. Amen? For Jesus Christ, because that's what we're called and created to do. All of us has been called to the world. Part of this world, but some called to the world, and some of us part of the world. And what I mean by that is the power of influence where you're at every day. You're affecting the world for Jesus. And you cannot do that without wisdom. And people in the problems and situations, and this is why I feel led to teach this, is because people are coming up with real problems. Things are happening in people's lives, and they're coming to the house of God where they can get an answer. And if we don't have wisdom, we cannot. It's, before you could say things and people be okay and stuff like that. It's not like that anymore. People are even going into the house of God, demon possessed, and just like the disciples couldn't cast out demons, and then they brought the I think it's the boy to Jesus, and Jesus said, How were you not able to do that? You've been with me. The same thing. When people come through these doors, they should not leave without what they came here for. And I don't always know what to say. I don't always know what to do. Sometimes something may happen in this church that we may not know